Body, somebody point me in the direction of these fucking kids that was on here spitting out the fucking foo-foo so I could slap y'all asses. This shit is delicious. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? I ain't never had this shit in my life before. I got the tilapia, John. Your shit fucking slaps. They gave me this shit with some spinach. I don't even fucking like spinach, but this is so good. Look at me. Customer service experience was horrible. But I feel like it's the same thing, like when you go to a Jamaican store, the worse the customer service, the better the food. Man, I wait the whole hour for my food. This shit fucking slaps. They would have slapped me and gave me this food and be like, bitch, hat. I would have still ate this shit. This shit fucking slaps, okay? Go get you some food and support my little Africans, okay? They got food. This shit good.
Yeah, I had to put that video in there because that's how you do it, okay? She done it right. She had to let all of you guys know that that food is delicious. Come on. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. It's your girl B Ami. Thank you so much for tuning in. So I really wanted to do this video because I feel like it's something that we need to bring to the table and we need to discuss. Please let's discuss this respectfully because I have seen a lot of heated comments, heated discussions online off of the back of Aaliyah J's Nigerian Mukbang, which obviously went viral. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody is still talking about it as I'm doing this video. The comments and the responses has actually been quite sad. And I thought, you know what, let's just address a few things. So I pulled up a few comments from my video, and also I pulled up a few comments online just so we can kind of see where people's minds are at. So stick around. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I'm just going to read through the comments first and then I'm going to say what I have to say. Some of these comments are going to be responses, so it might not really make sense, but I'll just kind of read out the comment anyway. So I'm gonna start off with this comment from Queen Cherry Honey. She says, honestly, this situation highlighted the division between African Americans and African people. I'm literally getting attacked under Mariah's video about the same situation by African Americans because I said I'm not shocked they're disrespecting Nigerian food. These times most AAs don't know their culture, traditions or lineage to respect different cultures. I couldn't go through all of them because there was quite a lot of comments. Big Dre 1600 Live said, if an African eat a cheeseburger and say they don't like it, that is a problem. I don't understand. Y'all just want to be victims so bad. I don't care about how Nigerians feel. FA says, whose fault is it they don't know their tradition? Aren't Africans the reason African Americans exist in the first place? Bronxy Allen said, it looked like cat food to me and it looked nasty. Eating with your hands when it's not finger food is beyond me. So I also went over to Twitter just to have a look to see what the people are saying on there. This one kind of stood out to me. Baddest Basset Hound said, we are in our homeland, lady. We don't give a flying about Africa. We are Black American. Also, I wanted to clarify, Aaliyah J, she's Caribbean. She's not African, quote unquote, African American. So she doesn't associate herself with Africans. And I think now I get her comment when she said about Menelik, he's the African one. In the heat of the moment, when I was watching the video, I was just thinking, you're black. Like, how can you even talk like that? And to me, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, to me, I feel like black people are one. It doesn't matter where you are from, you're black, your boyfriend is Kenyan. But to her defense, I think it's important for us to understand that she's not African, like she's Caribbean, she's not African American per se. My mindset kind of reflects the thought process of every other African in a sense that it's not about being from Nigeria. You don't have to be Nigerian to see that there was something wrong with her delivery and some of the questions that she asked. It's really highlighted the division between African Americans or Black Americans, should I say, Black Americans and Africans. When you look at the responses from Black Americans, I'm not even going to say African Americans anymore. When you look at the responses from Black Americans and you look at the responses outside of that, you can see that we are more unified. We don't just segregate ourselves according to our own countries, because we understand that in the continent there are so many other countries with so many other delicacies, and actually a lot of our foods are similar but they just have different names, so we can appreciate the food more. We're intrigued about how do you make your food. There might be a specific dish that different countries will call it a different name, but essentially it's kind of made the same. I'm gonna refer back to the other mukbang that I watched that Gade Philip did.
Obviously I'm Jamaican and Bayesian, St. Kitts, basically Caribbean, yeah? So this is like all new to me. This, I don't know what this is, yeah?
The green thing is turning me
this looks like callaloo. I don't know if you don't know what callaloo is.
Yeah.
Callaloo is like a spinach thing.
This reminds me of Ayamache.
He's Caribbean, but what I really liked is that he looked at each dish and he tried to compare it to a type of food from his culture, which is what I would have expected Aaliyah and Manelek to do, considering he's Kenyan, I believe, and obviously she's from the Caribbean. And I even think even in the Caribbean, I'm pretty sure that the food are similar. That's where people really feel like the ignorance is at its highest. I'm not talking for everybody. Black Americans actually really don't associate themselves. They don't really want to be identified or associated with being African, and it's only now, like I said, this is not for all Americans, because I know for a lot of Black Americans, they understand their Ghanaian roots. For the person that made a comment about cheeseburger and Africans eating cheese and Africans eating a cheeseburger, the reason why that was an ignorant comment was because who are you directing that comment to? Because are you directing it to Nigerians, Ghanaians, Congolese, Africans who live in the UK, in the US, in New Zealand, in France? Like, we are everywhere. I don't understand what you meant by that comment. If you don't know, we eat burgers in Africa. For the person that said we are in our homeland, lady, we don't give a flying about Africa. We're Black American. Again, highlights the division and highlights the fact that Black Americans do not see themselves, they do not want to be associated, they don't want to be affiliated, they don't want to be integrated with Africa. There was such a demarcation, like such a massive difference between the Black Lives Matter protest and NSARS. When Black Lives Matter started, especially with the death of George Floyd, it took the world by storm, and I mean the world. Everybody was protesting. There isn't any nation that did not stand up in protest and stand up to be the backbone of America. And it wasn't because, oh my God, we love America, we just want to copy America. No, it was because it was a Black person, and as Black people, we stand together, we are one. And I think, and that's where a lot of, I don't know if you think like me, that's how my mindset is. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you're Black, we are one. We share the same blood. Like, we all are looked at the same. We all went through the same slavery. We all share the same suffering just because of the color of our skin. So we had to stand up for that injustice. Here in the UK, we might not feel it as much, but it's just for the simple fact that as a Black person, you are my brother, you're my sister. And if you are going through something, it was the same with Breonna Taylor. If you are going through something, we're going to stand up for it. Now, when it came to end SARS, you really saw the silence. You know, you really saw where people kind of stood with it. Nigerians were begging for Americans to stand up. They were begging for celebrities to speak out. I didn't see anywhere where Americans had to beg anybody to speak up. People spoke up because they felt the genuine pain, like they genuinely felt the pain of the injustice of Black people around the world, the suffering that Black Americans are going through, but it wasn't reciprocated. Nigerians had to stand up in unity and really fight for themselves, and whoever joined along, it was a bonus. American endorsed in African culture when Beyonce did her Afrobeat album, you know, calling her Mama Africa. Who's Mama Africa? Even with her using African artists, using African producers, all of that they still was wondering, where is she? Like, why are we not hearing Beyonce speak up? You know, why are we not seeing that? And this was a really serious time. You know, this is not just people complaining. No, this is people crying out because they're genuinely suffering. People died in Nigeria and nobody cared. Black Americans didn't really care, to be honest, because in their head, the message that Black Americans were basically saying is like, oh well, you guys, you're Africans, you're poor anyway. That should have been enough to tell us really where people's thoughts and feelings were towards Africa. And it wasn't just about how the white man felt. You know, you had the odd other countries stand up and the odd celebrities stand up. You know, we had some celebrities be like, can somebody tell me what's going on in Nigeria, but it's like, why do you need somebody to tell you what's going on in Nigeria? It's like you're just basically just saying that to try and make it look like you're standing up for it. But after that post, I didn't really see you do anything about it. What was even more crazy is with Afro Nation, everybody was in Ghana and everybody was endorsing Ghana. All of the celebrities were in Ghana. You know, when it came to the good stuff, when it came to how they can pop, yeah, they were there, they were down. But when it came to the suffering, the blood, and people dying in Nigeria, and Nigeria crying for the injustice of the police brutality, which was in parallel to what America was going through with police brutality, Black America didn't stand up for Nigeria. People turned a blind eye. I say this not to further division, but I say this because yes, Aaliyah was extremely ignorant in her video and what she said, but when I kind of think about it, it's like kids that grow up not knowing their culture, they're not knowing their country, not knowing their roots. It's not really their fault to an extent. Do you get what I mean? Because if that is not implemented in you, if that is not imprinted in you from a young age, like for example, you know, just to be practical about it, if you have a child here in the UK or in America, wherever, in a westernized world, and you don't take your kid back to your country, or you don't teach them about the food, you don't feed them the traditional food, and you don't teach them the language, then that kid is going to grow up thinking that they are just British, or you know, they're just American, like they're not African. Like, I was born in America, I wasn't born in Africa, I'm not African. I was born in Britain, I'm English, I'm not African. I don't even eat that food. Like, what is that? That is just disgusting. It looks like dog food. Like, ew. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, that's how that kid is gonna grow up. Like, I don't wanna. Why do they talk like that? Like, why don't they talk English? I don't understand what you're saying. Can you talk English, please? Like, that's the mentality that they're gonna grow up to have. So, you know, to compare, of course, to compare someone's food to dog food is extremely degrading. And I'm sorry, but to ask if they eat shrimp, again, that's degrading. It's basically saying that Africans are not advanced or civilized enough because of who we are or what we don't eat, or it's a very colonial mentality to have, especially as a Black person. Another reason why it's important for us to have this discussion is because we can't be fighting Black Lives Matter, and we can't be trying to fight the white man and the white power and love to scream white supremacy when we are so divided mentally. We can't even stand up together. We don't even have the slight knowledge of a small thing like food. We can't even have respect for one another as Black people. How are they supposed to have respect? No wonder they're laughing at us. No wonder they're always going to have power over us. Please understand that I'm not putting everybody in the same box. We're trying to fight here Black Lives Matter, and I'm not talking about the Marxist BLM group. I'm talking about the skin, the black people, how we are fighting for equality. How can we be fighting for this equality when we can't even be united truly? It's really important that we have this conversation respectfully, and I really hope that this video kind of makes you think twice about the way that you see other Black cultures or Black countries, and when you refer to Africans, have a better understanding of who you're directing that to, because Africa is a continent, and within that there are African countries, all have different delicacies. But guys, I'm gonna leave the video there. If you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, hit the like button, notification bell, and I'll speak to you guys in my next video.